Hi everyone, I'm Vin,
I'm Saanvi.
and today we'll be discussing our project, Identifying Outliers in the Globe Surface Temperature Protocol. We'll start off by introducing the Globe Surface Temperature Protocol and the Globe database. Next up, we'll introduce techniques used to detect anomalies and outliers in the database. We'll then show our analyzation of the outliers found, and finally, we'll envision next steps for Globe and our dataset. So what exactly is Globe? Well, the GLOBE program is a science and education program that focuses on advancing Earth system science through data collection and analysis by citizen scientists. The GLOBE program's primary goal is to advance Earth system science and its applications. We specifically worked with the GLOBE Surface Temperature Protocol.
So what was our review process? First, we examined ground temperature readings submitted through the GLOBE program, and we noticed some extremely high temperature readings from 60 to 72 degrees Celsius. Our aim was to pinpoint entries that might have been a simple unit error. For example, taken as Fahrenheit and accidentally entered as Celsius.
Some of our coding strategies included utilizing a Parquet file, which helps compress large CSV files that otherwise might not have been able to be opened. We also converted the Parquet file into a data frame using the Pandas Python library. We also used matplotlib to plot outliers, coordinates, and heat maps. And finally, we also projected onto maps with GeoPandas. Here are our findings and results.
When we examined our temperature data, we were able to identify readings that fell outside the expected temperature and location ranges. We compared each of these ground readings against a climate reanalysis model called ERA5 and satellite data from Landsat 8 and 9 if available. When we investigated our clumps of data, we adjusted the tolerances based on surface type and time of day. Then we classified each entry as a likely accurate or unit mix-up.
In terms of location data, we noticed that there are lots of erroneous locations attached to certain data points, including impossible locations that were outside the bounds of latitude and longitude. In addition, we found that lots of the data was clumped up in few locations. So we decided to investigate deeper on whether these points were created by the same user or organization, and it turns out that they were. We also found that site coordinates didn't always equal submission coordinates, as you can see on the linear graphs on the right. And that led to some issues regarding reliability, which is why we introduced interpretable flagging. We created a Pandas data frame to create Boolean interpretable flagging, and we marked when temperature or location data was likely to be an outlier. Multiple of these flags could stack, which indicates that the data is less reliable. And so that can be helpful to researchers who are trying to filter through the data for reliability's sake.
So what is the importance of our research? We hope that it'll improve the overall reliability of GLOBE data for researchers and educators. We also want to be able to offer constructive feedback to volunteers, including student participants. Our next steps are to plan to build automated checks for real-time error detection. And we also want to expand review rules to cover more surface conditions and times of day. We want to expand the scope of our review of coordinate data, and we want to share our findings with the GLOBE community to support ongoing data quality efforts.
Some of the highlights of our internship include top features like map projection plots, identifying both temperature and location outliers, and Boolean interpretable flagging. Some of our biggest challenges included figuring out what data is reliable or not, analyzing the data through graphing, and also some of the data was hard to visualize. I absolutely loved working on the Hack the Globe project, and it was great to be able to build up my data science and earth science skills. All of my mentors and teammates were awesome, and I'm so glad to have had this opportunity.
Participating in Hack the Globe was such a rewarding experience. It pushed me to think critically about the environment and how technology can help us understand it better. Collaborating with my team and learning from inspiring mentors made the experience even more valuable.
We'd like to share special appreciation to NASA, the NASA Seas internship program, and mentors from Globe, IGES, the University of Toledo, and City University of New York for sponsoring and providing guidance and mentorship throughout this research project.
And lastly, we want to thank you, the viewers, for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.